Hey everybody, this is Amy Satori, and we have Anne Ishikawa. Ishikawa?
Ishikawa.
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 She's in Japan, and she has this wonderful knowledge that she's been sharing with you guys on my channel, and she has her own channel, SkinSuit Manual, which is incredible and mind-blowing, and it's stuff that I started to study, going down the rabbit hole a little bit. When it comes to quantum mechanics and quantum physics and all that kind of stuff. And she's just a wealth of knowledge about all of this, and has been really fun to get to know on the side too. And we've been going on some missions and adventures together. And we thought we would share some of those crazy things with you in these trying times. She and I, mostly she right now in this capacity, has been going to bat for us all in the background for years now. So, but we thought we'd give you a little taste of what that's like. And we thought that we would combine our talents and be little superheroes in the background and kind of do some of these things for humanity at this time. So do you want to, first of all, like where did you get all of this information? Where did you get all this knowledge?
Dimensional trench work. I see it, I hear it, I interact with these a plethora of demons and apex predators and dark magicians and the angels and the gods. And
so you didn't read any kind of book or learn anything from anybody that told you those words, because those are not normal words people use. A book?
No, this isn't in any book. I wish it was.
How did you know what to call it? Oh, that looks like an apex predator to me.
I did learn a lot from Sean Bond.
Okay.
I learned a lot from Sean Bond, and apex predator is what he calls them.
Okay.
I use a lot of his terminology. He calls they're huge. Some of them can be the size of a planet or bigger.
Jeez.
Yeah. And when you go up against these entities, you've got to know who you are. And if you know who you are, you know that you're energy.
Yes.
And energy is energy.
Yep.
So if I go up to an apex predator, they can't scare me because I can be the same size, the same, energy is energy. So we are equal, and I'm equal. You have to be equal to everyone. So even my guides, I am their equal. And I speak to them as that. I have no reverence at all for any galactic being I meet.
So can you explain why that would be important to someone maybe who's in that worshiping mindset?
Yeah, worshiping is, if you worship anyone, that's pretty much a contract for harvesting. I've met several Archangel Michaels, and they're usually artificial sentiences.
Can you explain what that means?
Yes, an artificial sentience is an AI manufactured person or being that can look like anything. It can, you could pass one in the street and it would look completely human.
So it's an illusion.
It's a hologram.
Okay.
It's a very elegant and sophisticated hologram.
Oh, so they can either look like spirit guides or they can look like human beings. I mean, they can look like anything, but they're created by AI.
And I mean, I had a guide, an Indian chief from, this was years ago. And, I could see him and talk to him, and he was very benevolent and actually taught me a lot. He taught me telepathy. He taught me how to, interdimensional combat. He was good. He taught me a lot. And then I found out, gradually I became more powerful than him. And he didn't like that. He would get angry with me. And I'm like, why are you getting angry with me? And I would ask him all these questions and he wouldn't answer me. And I'm like, why aren't you telling me? Totally stagnating me. I was in total stagnation. He was teaching me just enough to keep me hooked in battle. and that was it. And then I learned to decloak. You know, I was earning authorities and abilities, and I learned to decloak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing he didn't steal off me. I mean, as I was earning abilities and earning SkinSuit technologies, you know, my guides would take them because I didn't know. I didn't know that they were mine. I didn't know that that was a thing.
Okay, so these guys, as you develop your own abilities, can even steal your abilities from you?
Yeah, because I wouldn't know that I'd earned them.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he would just say, oh, that was a good mission. You know, well done. You did this right and that right. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Yay, me. You know, and then I realized, oh, you know, I should be a lot more powerful than I am. And so that was a job to get all that back. I still don't have it all back. But anyway, it is what it is.
So when
But yeah, he turned out to be an artificial sentience, and the most there are many different kinds of artificial sentiences.
Mhm.
The one I come across most takes 3 soul shards to operate it. So this AI being that just looks like me or you or your spirit guide, they take 3 soul shards from, you know, you and a unicorn and a dragon, or, you know, 3 people, or, you know, whatever. And when you come up against these entities, I can scan and I can tell if it's artificial sentience or not. And I'll take them apart. I'll take the soul shards apart and return them all to where they belong. And if there's any sentient AI, usually the AI left over is just a machine, just machine parts. But sometimes they have literally sentient artificial intelligence, in which case I send that into a special place for healing.
Okay.
I don't kill anything.
Okay.
Much. Much.
I like how you check that word
I've only had to kill something, I think twice. And then the other day or yesterday, I was in a bad place. And you'll find out why later. I was in a pretty bad place and I flipped the kill switch.
Okay.
And then it's just like, oh crap, I had to undo it. I had to undo it. I've got time travel authority.
Okay.
So I had to go back and undo that. And of course it was a version of me.
Of course. So then what happens to that part of you that's dead now?
Well, I undid it and it's now alive, and then I healed it.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so, you know, I think to me, everything's a placebo. So what you believe to be is, so you can believe a lot of it too, a lot of it into being. You like taking that back and you know, making it come alive again, and then it's healed and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's part of us being powerful, is we create.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work though. Time travel authority isn't total time travel. There are some time spaces where I don't have access to, even though I believe it and I want it to be true. And I believe it with conviction, and I'll argue. I'm like, no, I did that. I did that. It's like, oh crap, I didn't. Usually with conviction, we can create our own reality for sure. And with knowledge of who you are, it gives you more impetus to create your reality.
For sure. Yeah.
And the more sovereign you are. And in unity consciousness, like 2 people together, that's why when we went on the mission, the 2 of us, sometimes missions take 2 people because it's not just you and me, it's you and me and our whole entourage and our whole spirit tree.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I needed some SkinSuit abilities that you had that I don't have. So together, you know, your SkinSuit abilities and mine together, we could do what we did.
Okay. So before we go into the missions, what is SkinSuit abilities? Like, go into that a little bit.
For example, light language.
Okay.
light language is, you have this really incredibly powerful light language. I don't have light language. Mine was stolen, and I'm getting bits and pieces of it back, but it's actually brutal to get back. It's that's painful.
But we're working on that one.
We're working on it, but it's really, I'm coming up against these blocks and these entities, and I've got to negotiate and heal. And, they don't want me getting my light language back.
Of course.
Because it's, it's a unique kind of light language that is very threatening to them. And they should feel threatened. No, they shouldn't feel threatened. I always say I am no threat. I am your evolutionary ally.
I like that. That's cool.
Because my mission is sovereignty and evolution for all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. Let's get into the how did this all start with the mission and me?
Well, we were just chatting, weren't we? We were just chatting, and then I think I told you to go and pee on the tree.
Yeah.
Is that how it started?
No, I think okay. So I think that was the end of the conversation. You said, "Oh yeah, by the way, now that we've taken care of the Vatican in Hawaii and something or other," she goes, "There's something about that tree in your, that tree that you love." And I was like, "Okay, I think you need to go put your pee on it." And I was like, "Okay, okay." Then you warned me that when you put your pee on something, kind of mark your territory, then your DNA goes into the ground, wherever that is, and it actually like combines with the thing. And if the thing is haunted, then it can actually, you take on the haunting for yourself. And so then you have to heal it. You have to kind of know what you're doing. So you have to be careful what you pee on.
Yeah, you don't want to go peeing on a government building or a church or
that'd be a lot to take on.
Yeah, you don't want to go peeing on anything like that. I mean, I went, you want to hear my pee story? So the Olympics, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Oh yeah. You
And
brought a whole bottle down there, didn't you?
The opening ceremony of the Olympics are always a dark magic ritual. They're quite awful. The London Olympics, I think, was the worst one. And the opening ceremony was, I think, back in May of 2020. Mm-hmm. So I got 6 liters of my pee.
6 liters.
6 liters. I was gathering that for a couple of days. 6 liters of it in 3 PET bottles. Those plastic bottles of. In Japan we have oolong tea. It's kind of like a brown tea. Mm-hmm. So I got those 2-liter oolong tea bottles, and I went to the site, the stadium, and I said to my husband the night before, I said, "Oh, I've got to go and dump 6 liters of my pee at the opening ceremony stadium," and he's like, "Oh, okay," and he just agreed, didn't ask any questions. He knows better than that. So we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and we drive there, and of course there's police everywhere and it's all blocked off. But we managed to get the one parking spot right next to the stadium.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, talk about luck.
It's amazing he was even willing to go with you that early in the morning too. He's like, "Okay, let's go. What time do we got to get up?"
Yeah, I know, 6 o'clock. And so I go there, and I had them in a big carry bag, and there's all these police walking around, and I thought, how do I had the spot, a particular spot I had to dump it all, 6 liters. I'm like, how am I going to do this? And there's all these police everywhere and people everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, I just trust this. I'm just cloaked and camouflaged and no one will look. And then I just took everything out of the bag and just dumped it behind this bush, 6 liters.
Wow.
And people were walking past. I didn't look. I just kept dumping this, oolong tea. And no one said anything. No one stopped. And then I ran away.
That's perfect. Did you take on a bunch of stuff? Did you take on a haunting and stuff?
Yes. You can imagine what it took me about a week.
Wow.
It took me about a week afterwards to process. There were dark magicians, there were predators, there were people who were entities who were kind of too far gone to go into a true healing. So I had to send them to a hell realm.
Oh my gosh.
When you can't heal someone, when they're just like refusing and too far gone, you send them to this. It's kind of like a gauntlet of love, like a hell realm where they go on this journey to learn what love is. So it's, I mean, some people call them hell realms. I call them gauntlet of love realms. But yeah, and that was brutal. That was like a week.
Wow.
Best part of a week dealing with that. But I did get back a lot of authorities for the Japanese people.
Awesome.
That were harvested and being kept. So that was good.
So thank you for warning me about that. And it was crazy. Now this is how spirit works too, you guys. So I went and did as she asked or suggested. It just popped in her head at the last second. So I go over and we'll tell you about what the actual talk we had with all the other stuff too. But in particular, so I go to this tree and it's the middle of the night and there was like a tree nearby that was leaning on something. And so I went to put the pea on the tree and it went in the middle of the night, totally dark. And I just kind of like jumped and I nervously looked at this tree and just kind of, we're good. And I just got away. And then when I got home, I just went in and started doing this, all the work on it that I needed to do, and had this communication with the tree and all of this really cool stuff. Well, the next day, and some of it, this was so crazy that a neighbor's cat had come over, and I saw it underneath the tree, just laying exactly where I had put the pea, and he was just laying there, licking up the tree. And it was I have video of it. And so I was like, what's going on here? And then on my Q&A on YouTube from Thursday, I actually go out to check on my cats, and I see them looking at something, and they're looking at that tree with that cat under it. And it went into this whole big thing about how, healing Mother Earth. And my friend said something just really random. I've been talking about shards because of you. And she said something about the shards, like hurts my heart every time I talk about it. She goes, I think Mother Earth needs some help with her shards. And so then I stopped everything and I helped Mother Earth get back some shards. And all of a sudden Mother Earth puts me to sleep. And it was the craziest thing because I'd woken up at like 8:30. I was wide awake. This is like the next day, I think. So I wake up wide awake. I'm ready to go for the day and everything. And then all of a sudden I do all this work on Mother Earth and the shards and everything. And then I get put to sleep. Like I took a sleeping pill. I'm like, I could not go to sleep. It was amazing. Like my cats were trying to wake me up and everything. And I was just,
I call that the sleep whammy.
Yeah, it was a sleep whammy.
It's really hard to resist when you get hit with a sleep whammy. It's like, oh crap.
Yes.
And I think it's you're doing something in your dream time.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I went and I had these incredible dreams that were confirmation of the earth wanting to give bounty back. And it was this total confirmation of all the work that we've done, like even helping with the RVs and humanitarian projects and everything. I was so blown away by the whole thing. Like, holy crap. This stuff is real. Like we really are making a difference. So why don't you explain to everybody like what happened? I think we started with the Vatican, didn't we? And I don't know why we did, we were just, all we were doing, you guys, is just following the crumb trail. And it took us hours down these rabbit holes.
Yeah, we did go for a lot of rabbit holes, didn't we?
We did.
Did it start with the Vatican?
I thought so. I think so. Or that was the first major thing that it led to.
Right. What did we do there? Was it the Star
Something
Fort?
about like there was some kind of some kind of room of wealth had been protected or something, and you needed the key to it, or something. There was a star fort right outside that had to do with the star fort in the Vatican.
Oh yeah. Because the week before, I think 2 weeks before, I just posted my abundance video.
Oh yeah,
on
yes,
abundance.
yes. And I was saying that I had shared that with my humanitarian group. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just give a little precursor. So I couple of weeks before that, I found myself reluctantly going on a huge mission to reclaim abundance for this realm. Abundance authority. My understanding of abundance authority is that as a soul, we get born with a soul contract, with a soul authority to have the abundance that we require to do what we came here to do. Perhaps you're a musician and you will come in with a certain amount of abundance authority and a certain amount of fame authority, to become, a little great successful local musician or a big famous one, whatever your soul plan is. And you may have to work for this abundance. It won't just be a money bag in the dumped in your lap, but you'll get the right jobs, you'll meet the right people, and you'll be able to pay rent or buy a house, and your life will be very nice with some maybe hard work, but you'll do what you came here to do. Well, most people struggle to even follow their passion. A lot of people don't even have time to follow their passion, because our abundance authority gets stolen pretty much at birth. And the Queen of England was holding a lot of abundance. And I was looking at a star fort in northern Japan. And lo and behold, it turned out it's dimensional. The star forts are stargates. They're dimensional. And it turns out there was this rather large apex predator that was hoarding, a lot of abundance authority that was from England. It was, I found out later, it was the Queen of England. It's where she was hiding all of the abundance authorities that she'd stolen.
Now, I just want to for anybody else who wants to do the kind of work that she and I are doing, all you have to do is just bring the both of you together, you and your friend or somebody who has these talents and abilities, and bounce off of each other. So everything that she's describing that we're doing, we bounced it off of each other too. I have a suspicion that the star fort in Japan is related to this, that, and the other thing, is what I've come to conclude right now. Do you feel that too? And I'd be like, yeah, I do. I see that. I see the connection. And so we were doing that for each other the whole time too. So we would pop in and kind of spot each other, like we were in a spaceship together, looking at situations and saying, yeah, do you see that? Yeah, I see that. What should we do? How do we tackle this? So, okay, yeah. So she made the connection between the star fort in Japan and the Queen. And then go ahead.
Yeah, and then we went to, I think we were just chatting about the Vatican, and then we realized, the Vatican has a star fort next to it as well. And then suddenly we're there and we're both bouncing off each other going, do you see this? What do you feel here? What do you feel there? And it's like, oh, yeah. We kept getting hits. We resonating off each other. And we got a bunch of authorities back from there. And then where did that lead to?
Underneath, I think it was underneath. Didn't we go underneath the Vatican? Is that what it was? Hi, sweetie.
Was that where the spiders came in?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe, probably.
Okay, so anyway, along our travels, I think we're in some tunnels somewhere, decloaking some pocket dimensions and things, and we found suddenly spiders, and you had a dream about spiders or something.
Yeah, I had a dream about spiders. Hello, sweetie.
And then it turns out that there were these massive spiders that had cast a web.
Yes. Okay. And you knew
Over.
about the spider. I had no idea about those dimensional spiders. Okay, we're getting real close now.
Yeah.
Knowledge
These
is
there are different kinds of spiders. I've seen a lot of AI spiders. They're kind of artificial sentient spiders that
okay.
actually are carrying soul shards from, I don't know what, maybe real spiders. I'm not sure. I think 2 or 3 times I've been asked by some military person. I'm not sure if it's a white hat or not because they're very cloaked. I'll get a telepathic message. And can you please go and clear out this these underground tunnels? And I'm like, well, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of very cloaked but I go and take a look at the tunnels and I'm like, okay, well, I can at least get the spiders out. They shouldn't be there. So I've gone to clear out a few tunnels for the white hats. It's really weird. And then they've also asked me to decloak some dumbs. Some of the dumbs have dimensional rooms in them that are cloaked. And I have a decloaking ability. I'm sure there are many different kinds of decloaking ability, but obviously that was, my ability was the one they needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone in and decloaked some pocket dimensions and some rooms. And I've seen the military then storm in, real military, our military, real military storm in after I've revealed this hidden section of the dumb.
That is awesome. Yeah.
But yay, right? But back to the spiders. So they're these giant spiders, and there are, I think, over 70 species of them in our, in this universe. And the ones that we found had cast a web over this planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I intuited that our planet or our realm was going to go through the sun. The sun is a stargate, right. It's a portal. Yeah. And we were going to go through the sun portal to another time space.
Yeah. So it like put a web around us, trying to like hold us back.
Yeah. And this web was holding the realm, so we couldn't, I don't know what to call it, ascend or move into a different time space, because this time space is too dense and heavy. Mm-hmm. And as we're all raising our frequency, we're going to move into a different time space, which is a lot, a higher frequency. And we were trapped here by this massive web from these spiders. And so we got the webbing off. Mm-hmm. And had to deal with those spiders.
Yeah, then they webbed me. I think it was the next night. I woke up with a stomach ache or something, and I said, my stomach hurts. And you were like, they've put a web around something that's in your stomach. I'm like,
and it's really sticky too. And it's really sticky. And the next day, I don't think I've told you this actually, the next day, I had to unite all of the spider families because, I couldn't fight them. I can't fight so many different species, and they're everywhere and they're huge. And I know a couple of people that have versions of themselves that are spiders or are queen spiders. And I think, were you a queen? Did we pick up that?
I didn't. I don't recall that.
Maybe it was the next day. I think you were a queen, and a couple of other people I know were queen spiders, and so I called up one girl who was a queen, and I united with her spider, with her consent. And
Now, wait, can you explain how that works? Because all of us have all these different aspects of ourselves doing these crazy things out there in other dimensions we have no idea about. You may even be some kind of Nazi from way back when, when you find this piece of yourself that's out there doing like bad things or anything like that, when you find that, you go love it. You go put your arms around it and just love the heck out of it. And so how does that work? That we have all these little pieces of us, like interdimensionally doing all this crazy stuff, some of it good, some of it bad,
Well, all time is one.
Yes.
All time is one. So past lives are technically not past. They're happening in the current present moment. And we have many expressions of ourselves in this current present moment. We have a unicorn expression, a fairy expression, a dragon. But we also have many human versions of ourselves. Sometimes once we volunteer to come into this realm, most of us are from a lot higher dimensions. Most of us are from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, the real high dimensions. Our consciousness is very expanded, and we can be fractalized into thousands and thousands of humans. That's my understanding. And so we can have thousands of versions of ourselves in this realm. So some of ourselves lived in the 1600s, some of ourselves lived, this is what we call past lives. We have Lemurian expressions or lives. We have Atlantean lives. We have future lives. And the bleed through, if they're in trauma, those energies can bleed through to us in the current present moment.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
And so most of the emotions we have, the thoughts, the injuries, the aches and pains, it's not even us.
Yeah.
It's not us. It's a bleed through. Oh, from a version of us. Okay, so it's us. But it's not the current, present, dominant, sovereign, benevolent self us.
Right.
And so no wonder why no one's ever written a book about this.
You'd be running all over the place, up, down, this way, that way, that way.
Yeah, I did start writing a book, and I'm just like,
okay, so you saw some queen spiders, and then what?
And then I united them. And because of our work, everything is trade, energy exchange. And because we united the spiders, and it actually got a bit worse. There is, I don't even know if I should go down this rabbit hole. So I'll just say it real quick. There is an Antiverse. So our universe has a mirror of pretty much everything that's the opposite, like an Antiverse, and it's horrible. There's a version.
Is that what the bad guys are trying to make happen? They're trying to flip everything to where the Antiverse is the thing that we're on.
Yeah, the Antiverse is like the worst version of you.
Okay.
So here is the best version of you, and then the Antiverse has the worst version of you, and the bad guys actually will switch out some people. They'll bring in the Antiverse version of them.
That makes sense. Wow.
Yeah, you can see who they are, right? I
mean, yeah.
Some people are really not nice.
Yeah.
They get switched out. And when you get a portal ripped open from the Antiverse, and these spiders, their webs, these spiders had an ability, one of their SkinSuit abilities was to create a web connecting this verse and the Antiverse. And so they could portal in and out a whole mess of crap. And so I had to deal with that as well. And then, but it's done. It's all united, and the spiders are very happily gone off and they've retracted all their webs. So that's done. But of course, I was wondering what we got for that. And I think the ability, I haven't read into the ability exactly what it is, but it's something like we have the ability to use this web now. We can cast a web. We've got the SkinSuit ability of a web.
Uh-oh.
And this web is, and it's just like, well, I don't.
That's really all I need.
Yeah, I don't really want to hurt anyone. I'm not, but it's good to trap. It's really good to trap people. And I'm like, could it be a web of love? And they're like, well, yeah,
it would have to be.
It would have to be. So we can merge with another SkinSuit ability that we have. We can have these love webs. So when we start healing the Nazi versions of us and these really horrible versions of us, these webs might help. Right?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to have some fun with that. We'll have to take another adventure and see what we can do with our webs.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, anyone listening to this video, our higher selves, they're like two grandmas chatting over the back fence. Our higher selves are chatting nonstop. And so we might be trading with your viewers. You know, your viewers can also think, oh, that's cool. I'd like a little web that I can trap versions of me and hug them and love them. I'm a little love web. I wouldn't mind that. And then my higher self is going, well, what have you got? Oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll trade. So anyone interested in having a little web of love, but you can't abuse it. Well, actually you can, but I wouldn't advise it.
Well, and like this is going on for all of us subconsciously all the time. That's the thing too. We're just bringing some things to light that are happening behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. But if you can be empowered and know, you know, even what to call things or what's going on and about the contracts and that some things aren't as they seem to appear, you know, if you just start opening your mind a little bit and can see that, well, unicorns might be real, fairies could be real, and maybe it's true that they have soul shards that 3 of them create an artificial sentience, you know, just you know, and if angels are real too. I mean, you know, Archangel Michael, I mean, I only ever come across the artificial sentience versions, you know, because I'm the warrior and the good ones don't come to me because, you know, they don't need to. Yeah, right.
But it's my understanding of Archangel Michael is that it's a job title. And
oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
there are several of them running around, but of course the bad guys will hack that and create artificial sentient versions of them as well. So, you know, totally. Which Archangel Michael are you calling out to and associating with? You just want to make sure that it's one of your, you know, the good guy and not the artificial sentient guy.
Yeah, and you can practice your ability to discern. You can practice, you know, how do I come up with a way to tell whether they are or they're not, or, you know, and then kind of experiment with, you know, so you can develop your own abilities and everything too. And just because somebody else, like, so as I've been getting to know Anne, she's been talking about, I mean, all kinds of things. We had a submarine run in also that was trying to nuke somewhere.
Oh yeah, this big submarine we found. Suddenly I was seeing this huge, massive submarine that was coming from the land beyond Antarctica. Our realm is much bigger than we think it is. The land that is on our maps, it's just a fraction of the size of our planet. And this submarine was coming from you know, and all I've bilocated to the lands beyond Antarctica a few times. I just call it Schwabenland, but other people call it Terra something, not Terra
Tartaria?
No. Terra something, or I don't know.
Terramar?
Different people call it different.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just call it Schwabenland because the first time I went there were a bunch of Nazis there, and I'm like, oh, Schwabenland. I don't know why I saw that, but so this submarine was coming under, it was like in an underground water tunnel coming through. And what did we do with that? We oh, that's right, because you saw the crew there, didn't you? I didn't see the crew, but you were like, oh, there's a crew there.
Okay.
Like I remember you were seeing
this
the
was
crew.
days ago. It's hard for us to remember because it's like since that's happened, we've had all kinds of other things happen now too. So it's like hard to remember everything. But I don't remember how we stopped the submarine. I convinced the submarine to I gave it the opportunity to become something else, something better, something more inspirational and creative. Instead of doing what it was doing, and it changed his mind, because I mean it really didn't have a choice. I mean, I wasn't going to let it go, so I was like, what do you want to be transformed into, because you're not going to be this anymore. It's like, so yeah, it transformed into I just felt like I shouldn't say it, shouldn't say what it is now, because they maybe could grab it back and use it again or something, I don't know. So, but it's now free, and it's excited and happy to be doing what it's doing now. Much, much better than what it was doing.
Yeah, because it was a sentient, it was alive. The submarine was it was alive. It was like not a person, but an entity.
Because everything's energy, and it's
everything's energy. And we got the crew off and put them on an island to be picked up.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Another crew.
Have somebody go get them. And they
were humans. They were actually humans.
Okay.
I read that they were actually humans. The SSP, the Secret Space Program. Mm-hmm. They were actual humans from this realm that were taken out of time and were working under mind control for.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are working under that mind control.
Yeah. And then they were coming in to cause a nuclear war.
Yes.
They were going to they were going to instigate the nuclear war in, was it from Chicago?
I think it was Chicago. Think they were going to go after Chicago. Why were they going after Chicago?
Because Chicago was,
it had like an AI hub underneath it or something.
That's right. Yeah.
A big computer center, it looked like a big cube full of electronic equipment. It looked like a brain, almost like an AI brain.
Yeah, a massive AI hub construct.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it had to do with like sex trafficking and all that kind of fun stuff. So we dismantled that. So we don't know what we're doing. We're just like, where do you want us to go, God? Okay, and you don't see God that way, but I kind of think it's fun to have a buddy.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we've got lots of beings around us.
Yeah, totally. So we're just like, and we're getting shown these things purposefully, so it's our higher self or God or whatever is like, okay, so here's your next mission, and here's your next thing that I'm going to put in front of you and let you see to steer you that direction, because we need your talent over here. So we're just like going with the flow, and we're having fun, together doing it. Oh, the next thing was Hawaii. There was a volcano I felt some anger or something from a volcano that was getting really mad. And you went in and gave it some soothing and love to try to calm it down.
And then I read it was a version. You had DNA DNA resonance with it. It was you. Your DNA is in that volcano, so it's a collective.
Don't get me mad. Don't get me mad.
Don't get Amy mad. But I've
linked to the volcanoes.
Yeah, I've got my DNA in a volcano somewhere else too. But we have DNA. The volcanoes, the lava's sentient as well. I've got lava as well. I'm a lava girl.
And I was wearing, that came up also because I was telling you about one of my earrings.
Oh, that's how it all started.
Hawaiian sand in it. And you're like, your earrings are haunted. I was like, my earrings are haunted. What are you talking about? And then that's where we went down that rabbit hole.
That's how it all started. So we were chatting.
The volcanoes.
Yeah, that's how it all started. I remember now we were chatting about
Yeah.
your earrings, and you were telling me they were Hawaiian sand, and I just got this real bad feeling. I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. What's wrong with her
Yeah.
earrings? And then
Yeah. And that's how it works, you guys. Just a
we
very, if
traced
she
it
wouldn't,
to Hawaii.
if she didn't listen to that, if she didn't listen to that voice, if my friend wouldn't have said, oh, something about when you say soul shards, it hurts my stomach. I think Mother Earth needs some healing for the soul shards. Like if she wouldn't have said that to me, she said it in passing very briefly on a Telegram voice memo. If I wouldn't have stopped everything and listened and picked up on that and gone after it like I did, or if Anne wouldn't have felt that way when I talked about my earrings, and if she wouldn't have mentioned it, I mean, look at all that happened as a result of listening to that little intuitive nudge. You know, it was very, very slight. All of these it started very, very slight, you know, and then went in this whole adventure. And so what did we do with the volcanoes?
The volcanoes, then we traced that there was a lot of them angry.
Yeah.
The Ring
And
of Fire, the Pacific Rim. And
yeah.
so,
Oh, they
we
had something
transmuted.
directed at them to try to make them go off. They were gonna blow.
They were going to go off. And so we transmuted the destructive energy, which was being targeted at them, a frequency of destruction energy. And we transmuted it to creational energy. So the odd volcano may go off, but it will be a creational event, not a destruction event.
Yes.
So, you know, the lava may create a new island and it won't be destructive.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was next as well. And then we got the ravens, didn't we? The ravens came, the birds.
Yes. Yeah, there was a raven healing. Yeah, there was a big raven healing. I remember that now too. Yes, we had some good ravens battling the bad ravens even for a bit. What happened with that?
Yeah. The ravens, they're a collective, the collective of ravens. They asked us to unite the land and the sea. There was some division or polarity, separation between the land and the sea.
In Hawaii. Yeah. Still,
and so they
still
asked us to unite the elementals there.
Yeah, and it was cool. We saw them celebrating and all excited when they all came together and they were all like on the same page. So we celebrated many times throughout those hours that we were doing this. We did this for like 2 days in a row for several hours each day. And we went through several highs and lows in that time. We were just like, we were ducking things. Like, do I see that? Okay, what? Okay, fire it at them. Okay, what? Yeah. And then it'd be like, yay! Then we'd see the results of yay. It was fun. It was really fun.
It's kind of a roller coaster ride, but yeah, it's so fun working with you.
I know, you too.
It's so fun because you know, you've just got these amazing abilities that just make everything quicker for me. You know, your light language is just quantum.
Awesome.
Yes, it's awesome.
So I kind of feel like your weapon a little bit, like you're carrying me like this, going, okay, that thing, get it.
Yeah. Amy, go there. Take a look, Amy. Amy, look at that. Tell me what's there.
Oh, it's so great. I love it. And I'm just learning so much from you as well. What was that?
There was something about soulmate interference, soul family interference.
Thank you. Yes, there was something about true love being able to come together now because of the
webbing. That was
webbing?
The spider webbing. The spider webbing had infiltrated people's frequencies,
love relationships, like keeping them apart.
Yeah. People were walking around with this web over them, which would like dampen their frequencies so that soulmates or soul family couldn't find each other or resonate with each other.
Right.
So I mean, that was why a lot of people are lonely and separate and kind of thing. They don't find their tribe. But
Oh, yeah,
but you
yeah,
can
it was like
break
the
this yourself. I mean, you can break this yourself if with your skin suitability. So some people, we're finding our tribe the past couple of years. All the light workers are coming together. We're finding our tribe. So I think we've been breaking this web. It's been crumbling. The matrix is crumbling. So and now that with this webbing gone as well, this was another thing the webbing was doing. So I think people will start finding their tribe and true love for sure, for sure,
yay.
as it should
Is
be, as it was our soul plan.
yeah.
It was our soul plan to find this person or that person or friend or lover or whatever, and this has all been tampered with, but no more.
Is there a revocation that everybody watching this can say right now that will help them get their power back and realize their skin suit abilities?
Yes, so I am the current present sovereign dominant benevolent self. It is always so in all moments in true divine time. I attract to me my soul family, true and benevolent sovereign soul family. I align with my soul plan and my soul mission, my true soul plan and my soul mission, and I audit my true Akashic. Akashic is coming up for me. People have to audit their true Akashic records. They've been tampered with, of course. So if everyone aligns their audits their true Akashic records, that's your soul DNA history. And a lot of people have redactions or bits that are blanked out for protection, but also tampering, so that your spirit guides don't know who you are, or your spirit guides are, they're kind of guiding you to do something, or to learn a lesson or whatever, to experience something, and then it's redacted or hidden, so you experience it again and again and again. It's like, why does this keep happening to me?
What's redacted? What do you mean by redacted?
Redacted is like a black line through it, so you can't read it.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
so a
that's
lot of
interesting.
our soul histories, our Akashics are like the book of our history. And I'm just getting a strong message that if everyone audits their true DNA soul history, their Akashics, and clears them and all tampering, brings that online, the spirit guides, they'll be able to see what you've done properly and what you've experienced and what your soul mission, your true soul mission is. And that's what would be really most helpful, to align to
Awesome.
your true soul mission, and then they can guide you in a better direction.
Yeah. And I have some of your revocations on my channel. If you go to, if you know how you click on somebody's symbol or their logo to go to their channel, and then you see like videos, playlists, there's a community tab. Click on the community tab and scroll down, and you can see some of these revocations that I've gotten, that I've typed out from Anne's prior videos. And the abundance one is really good too. You guys should watch her abundance video.
Right.
So is there anything, like if anyone else wants to go, get with a friend and start working on some missions, is there anything that you would recommend, or any tips?
Stand in your sovereignty.
And all in love, do everything in love.
Yeah, and try not to kill anything. I mean, you have every right to defend yourself.
You can transmute energy, though. You can change it. Like even in Qigong, everything that they do releases everything into butterflies. And sometimes I'll do bees or butterflies, or sometimes I'll just have the intention of allowing it to transmute, and it turns into something unexpected, but it's positive, something beneficial or something.
That's good. And it's also important to make the affirmation that I will not bite off more than I can chew. I will only go on missions that are for my highest good, meaning nothing to, out of my league.
Yeah.
You don't want to be
and
thrown
something
in
that
the
will
deep
build.
end, because, my higher self, I don't know what they're doing. They throw me into the bloody basement of the Vatican, and I'm like, oh crap, what am I doing? You don't, I revoke my higher self being a, can I say dumbass? Yeah.
Well, you can just ask to be given missions that boost your confidence. You can just keep building up.
Exactly.
And you may not see what the other person is seeing that you're with either. And maybe you're only meant to see what parts you're supposed to see. Like maybe there's a whole scene in front of you and you see the volcano down here and they see the mountain that's up here on the, here's the sea level, right? They see the mountain, you see the volcano, and somehow you put the picture together. You may not both see all the same things or see the same things happening, but just roll with it and have the intention of everything getting resolved or being seen, or, you're there to accomplish something at the end of it that you've both worked on and can achieve and be proud of and, accomplish. You're going to accomplish something by the end of it. But sometimes it does feel a bit like one of you has a blindfold on for a moment, the other can see, and then the other way around, it'll switch up. And then somebody has more clarity in a certain situation. So just roll with it. You can't go into this type of the level that we're at. You can't be too particular. You can't be too particular or black and white. I know a lot of you get hung up on things, like when it comes to imagination, when it comes to, all that you think that you have to be perfect, or you have to know all the terminology, or you have to, it can be hard and you get stuck in your head, and then it'll just absolutely paralyze you on a mission like this. So just roll with it. Just can totally roll with it. And
that's such a good point. That's such a good point. You've got to kind of like trust fall into your heart space and trust fall into your imagination. Just whatever comes in. That's a really, really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Well, cool. So, and a lot of people are doing this in their dreams and they don't realize also. Like, do you want to talk about how when you've been doing this in your dream, you'll wake up with a sore lower back, for example?
Oh yeah,
like what happens in our dream state?
Yeah, God knows. I don't remember my dreams almost ever. So rarely would I ever remember a dream. It's complete blank.
Yeah.
Goodness knows what I'm doing.
What do you say though? You said you're something about your dreams in your lower back though?
The dreaming body generator. So we have, we're avatars. My understanding is that we are in fact avatars, like an avatar here with a higher self. And, our versions of ourselves that are guiding us to do this work to help wake up humanity. And so we have dreaming bodies, we have emotional bodies, we have auras, we have light bodies, we have all these components to us that we can't see. And the dreaming bodies, their generator, their little power pack is at the base of the spine. So the lower sacral, the lower back can often be quite painful in some cases if your dreaming body generator is very weak. And it means your dreaming body has been very active. Goodness knows what they're doing. So you can just take one hand and put it on your stomach, the front of your stomach, and your other hand, you put it behind your back on your lower back. So one hand in front, one hand at the back. And between your two hands, you have a lot of SkinSuit technology in your palms. And so you can like zap it, like recharge your dreaming body generator, and also send energy from your heart space down into it as well. Give it a big hug and love, and so any trauma that it had in dream time, that's how you can heal a nightmare too.
Well, and what just popped in my head too is love is your biggest weapon, you guys, and being present in the moment and having our imagination. They don't want us to know how powerful we are with all these subtle realms. So all of this being brought to your attention is all bringing your power back to you. But I remember one particular, you guys know that I battle a lot of darkness, demons, curses, all that stuff. And one of the hardest things that I had hit in a long time was Native American. And so it involved a number of different people. And this one like Native American chief shaman guy, he didn't even say it to me directly. He said it to my friend who said it to me. The only way to deal with Native American curses or any of that is love, just pure love. Just send them pink energy or pink and gold or, something, whatever you can come up with that's just pure love to you, and just aim it at the tribe, aim it at the area, aim it at the region, whatever it is. And they don't know what to do with it because some of them are so far gone from love that it's like a whole foreign idea. It's like, it's really a shame, but like you guys should know that if you ever deal with anything like that, apparently that's the only way that you can deal with it. And when I did deal with it that way, I was pretty amazed by the results. So love is always the answer. Love is always the key. And love and laughter. Laughter is so important.
Laughter. My entourage, my guides, they'll make me laugh when I'm about to battle something really, really terrible, or in order to help me heal something. If I've got an attachment that I can't for the life of me get off, or I'm like, what the hell is this? They'll just make me laugh, and I know that it's them making me laugh, and I get angry. I'm like, there's nothing to laugh about. I'm in crisis here. Just like, as you say, go with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they'll make me laugh until I fall on the floor, tears coming out of my eyes, laughing, and then I'll just feel like a snap. Oh, gone. Laughing is such a high energy, it's such a high frequency, and I think love is a frequency, and it's like a full spectrum healing. It's laughter and love, they have like a full spectrum of everything required. Mm-hmm. For any job.
Okay. And so then, that what popped in my head while you were saying that was two very simple tools that you guys could do. One is imagine the world in your hand. If you don't want to even go to all this complicated stuff that we're talking about, just hold the world in your hand and just send it love. Just do a visualization and just send it and all its people and all the dirt and all the trees and all the water, just send it all this love, and you'll be doing a lot that you don't know. It's like your higher self is out there doing all the detailed stuff, but you're just sending all this love. Also for yourself, even to place your hand on your heart and just send yourself love 24/7, like all throughout the day. Just, oh man, I love you.
Yeah, and this is great that with the hand on the heart, because both hands have SkinSuit technology, layers of them, quite a few different kinds of technology. So putting the hand on the heart, it can recharge the energy center, and that the heart is a capacitor. It's the engine that drives the SkinSuit. Yeah, it's the engine that drives the SkinSuit. It's huge. It's really, really powerful. And so, often it can be drained. And so you can always recharge your heart space with the hand. So that's beautiful. You naturally, you have this knowing, right, to do that, to put your hand on your heart.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people change overnight dramatically from doing that. So it's like, whoa, I've seen the evidence of it. So, okay. Well, how about I do a blessing for everyone watching, to be able to kind of, I don't know, assimilate all this information, integrate all this information you've gained from this video, and be able to even kind of start experimenting and doing some missions of your own, and playing around with it. And you can even intend to get some downloads, like in the Matrix.
Why not? And I think it's not important that everyone believe everything, but I just think it's important just to have an open mind to what if, and just the possibilities of. And so, we could be absolutely bat loopy crazy and our little world, but just expand your mind and embrace the possibilities of our magical realm.
Yes.
And that's, there's no pressure to believe anything, just the possibilities of.
Exactly. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me do the blessing. So everybody just drop your shoulders and relax. Shimpimena tate sa se ke la ai shin chen ta tai ke san se lipi he po ona shiken hala he na ai chichen ta tai san se la he tan ipe he po oma shiki na tai ha ha ama ana tai la san se shina hala he pum pum homa an. Oh, I felt some fairy energy there too. So, okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you guys have a beautiful day, and you can look forward to more videos of me and Anne talking about this kind of stuff. Who knows what adventures are coming in the future here. So, yeah. All right. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Anne, for coming.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.